Hi everybody. On September 10th, Jupiter, the planet that rules abundance, wealth, growth, good fortune, changes sign and goes out of Virgo, where it has been for the last year, and now moves into Libra, where it's going to stay until October 10th. So what does this mean, and how can you get most benefit from it? Let's look at the sign Libra. The first 6 signs, if you look at them, Aries is the time, you're ruling the head, is the time where you were born. It's where you find self. It's that first house in the chart. Taurus is the sensual self, the touch, finding your senses, coming awake, coming alive. Gemini is learning things, learning to speak, learning to talk. Cancer is your home, your family, your nurturing, your food, your environment. Leo is the creative you as a child, painting and dancing and singing and all those kinds of things. Virgo is the part that has to learn, has to go to school, has to be sensible. And it isn't until we get to Libra where we open out and we look at our relationship with other people. So the first 6 signs are about development of self in many ways. They can be interpreted in different ways, but I'm just giving you a brief overview at this point. And then Libra comes along, and Libra says, how about you and me together? I'm reminded of the song by the Beatles, I want to hold your hand. To me, this is what Jupiter in Libra epitomizes. It's an opportunity for refreshing all your relationships, because Libra rules relationships, it rules marriage, it rules how we treat one another. It's an opportunity now for bringing balance into all of your relationships. And I wouldn't be surprised, because these aspects work on a global level and they work on a personal level. So globally, I think we're going to hear much more about peace talks. How can we find peace in this world? And we may, because of the polarity, if you think of the scales of Libra, Libras are always trying to bring about balance. And you may find that the opposite polarity comes out in a lot of strength at this time. So there may be people who are wanting to go to war, to put walls up, boundaries. We've got this immigration crisis pretty much worldwide now. How are we going to deal with it? Are we going to take the middle way, the Buddhist way, bringing things into balance and learning to live with compassion for one another and holding out a hand to another person? I'm reminded of a video I just saw recently that reminds me about this ingress of Jupiter into Libra greatly, of a beautiful man who's a dancer who's teaching dance to orphans in Syria, those who've been orphaned by the war. And there are bombs still going off around them and bullets everywhere, and he's showing them how to dance. He's giving them compassion. And he's dancing for the souls of the dead. He goes over to various catastrophic areas of Aleppo and dances. And this is very much Libra, using the arts for healing. Music can be so healing. Sound can be healing. I've had clients who've been bedridden, who through sound healing have brought themselves back to life again. So the power of sound, the power of paintings, the power of everything that is artistic, we may find that coming into balance again, because there's been more and more cuts in spending on the arts, more and more let's cut it back, cut it back, cut it back. But there has to be a balance now where science is beginning to prove the validity of the arts in healing. Painting, art therapy, music therapy for autistic children, art therapy to help people through grief, dance, all forms of expression in my view, are going to become more prominent. Jupiter expands wherever it visits. So we're going to see an expansion of all these areas. Expansion of love. Love for self, because again it's the balance. You can't just love others all the time without having a healthy love for yourself, for making sure your needs are being met. Balance. How can you bring balance to your physical body? I've always had a very stiff right side, well, stiff body generally, but now that I'm doing yoga and Tai Chi and dancing, I'm loosening up this whole right side of the body, bringing balance again, being able to stand tall for the first time in many, many, many decades. So maybe for you it's about bringing balance to your body. Maybe it's balance to your relationships, balance to your finances, depending where it falls in your chart this coming year. Maybe you'd like me to look at your chart and interpret for you personally what I feel is coming up for you and what this Jupiter transit is giving you the opportunity to benefit from. Beauty. Libra is ruled by Venus. So our ways of seeing beauty in this world can be enhanced during this time. Beauty can be expressed in so many different ways, and I think we're going to see many changes, many shifts, also using, again, the healing aspect of beauty. Think about colour. Think about putting different colours together, the beauty of a sky, the beauty of an animal, the beauty of a tree, noticing beauty, bringing beauty alive. I feel this is going to be an expansionary area. For those of you who are doing anything to do with counselling, advising, mentoring, training, teaching, helping people in one way or another, I think this is going to be a hugely growth field. All these areas are going to grow during the time of Jupiter in Libra. So if you're involved in cosmetics, maybe even cosmetic surgery, cosmetic advances, anything to do with beauty industry, fashion industry, we're going to see some growth, we're going to see some changes, some shifts, learning to do things differently. We'll see some growth, I'm hoping, in learning how to treat one another with care, with love, with heart. Learning as well how to listen to somebody else's view and not shut them down. The minute somebody may mention something, for example, I've had a few people turn off to me because of doing the channeling. Hey, and that's okay, but how would it be if we didn't turn off to one another, if we didn't find it a threat, if somebody does something that you perhaps don't agree with, don't like? What if you can still keep your heart open to that person? What if there are many other qualities about that person that are outstanding, that are special? What about focusing on those qualities? Learning how to focus our energy on the things that we love about ourselves and the things that we can find about others that we love. Boy, we're at a crux point in our world. These next few years, that's why I'm doing this 2020 big seminar, all about it, are a build-up to the shifting of the structures of our society, of our financial system, of all systems. And one of the most important, where money is spent, more money is spent on destroying one another, on annihilating one another, much more than natural disasters, than the earth. We're spending a lot more money on blowing one another up. My prayer for Jupiter being in Libra is that we can connect more, is that we find ways to connect more. and also what I am offering in the spirit of Jupiter into Libra. As you can see, I'm developing many creative abilities, shall we say, working on them, and I'm offering commissioned paintings, so you can commission me with your date, time and place of birth, and I will paint something for you, just for you, just to match your vibrations. I'm also offering a piece of music composed especially for you on the piano to match you and your vibrations. It's new. It's something I'm very excited about. Been getting some very nice feedback from people so far. And if it's something that you're interested in, please don't hesitate to get in touch.